Hello, I'm Harish, and in this channel, I talk about various ways in which you can build pretty much anything from a website to a mobile app or an automation or even voice based application without having to write a single line of code. And this is episode 3 of Voiceflow 101, where we are going to look at prompts which allow us to create conversation based applications in a non linear format. So far, we have seen capturing user input or checking if the user wanted to say yes or no and then go into a specific block. And in this example today, we are going to look at random blocks and getting the user's input and then being able to run a specific block depending on what the user wanted to say. So let's jump into it and see how to build prompt based applications and get users input in a non-linear format. Great. Once you're logged into the Voiceflow dashboard, I'm going to quickly create a project, and as usual, I'm going to quickly select Amazon Alexa and use untitled. But the use case that we're going to look at for this demo is finding cryptocurrency prices depending on which cryptocurrency the user wants to find. Right? There are too many options, but I'm going to pick 2-3 currencies for the sake of this example and show you how to build something like that using prompts and not choices. Right? So once you have the welcome block, the first step is obviously to find out which currency the user wants to know the price for. Right? So what we're going to do quickly is ask the user a question and get which cryptocurrency he wants to find the price for. So we're going to do speak block, and here we're going to ask the user choose a cryptocurrency. Now after this, we are typically looking for the user to respond. So in this case, what we're going to do is drag and drop the prompt from here and then put it in this. Right now, you can see it is listening for an intent. Now, what is an intent? Intent is the intention of the action the user is going to take. In this case, it is finding price. Right. So we have to now create multiple blocks which act as prompts and redirect the user to a specific one depending on which cryptocurrency he chooses in this case. Right. So I'm going to do the intent block and drop it as a separate block instead of putting it under something else. Now in this case, let's do Bitcoin as an example here, and we can have multiple ones. I'll just copy these once I'm done creating. Right. So once I have the Bitcoin intent block ready, the second step for me to do is create the intent itself. Right. In this case, I'm going to rename this to Bitcoin intent, and once I do this, the utterances can be price for Bitcoin, or it can be just Bitcoin. Right. The user can just say Bitcoin, or I want to know price for Bitcoin. Right. These are something the user can say, and then this will get activated. Now let's quickly read out the response back to the user. I'm going to say, let me get the price of Bitcoin for you. Now after this, our next step is to get the price. Right. And for the sake of this demo, I'm going to use a quick API called coincap.io, which is a free API which gives you the price in response to which cryptocurrency or which crypto asset that you want to find the price for. Here is the API demo. I'm going to link this in the description as well. This is basically the call that we have to make, and I'm going to copy this quickly and then go back to Voiceflow and scroll down, and under integration you will find the API block, and I'm going to drag and drop that here, and in endpoint URL I'm going to paste this along with adding HTTPS. Now this is the call that we will make, and we need to add one HTTP header here, which is content type for this API call to work. Right. Now value is application/JSON. You just have to remember that. But now click on test request, and this will send a test request. Right. Once you send the test request, you will get the response like this, and this is the price that we want. Right. All you have to do is just click on this little orange marker here, and it will copy the path. So I'm going to paste it here and create a new variable called Bitcoin price and click on create. Now the value for Bitcoin is now stored under Bitcoin underscore price variable. So this piece is set, right? Now we have to just read out the response back to the user. So I'm going to quickly pull a speak block here underneath this, and if it is success, I'm going to go here and then read out the price for Bitcoin is curly braces Bitcoin underscore price. That's it. Now after this, you can build on top of this saying, do you want to find a price for another cryptocurrency or whatever, right? Now what I'm going to do is quickly duplicate this to create or find price for another cryptocurrency. Now in this case, let's say Ethereum, right? I'm going to change the intent as well. You have to just delete it and rename it to a new intent that you want to capture based on the user's response. So I'm going to create Ethereum underscore intent, and the utterances just like last time are Ethereum or price for Ethereum, right? And now the next one that will obviously changes this piece. You can also store this in a variable and dynamically insert this and have just one block, but I'm just going to show this to you. Let's say if you are trying to find favorite genre of the user and then recommend a movie to the user based on IMDb API, you can also do different prompts for different genre and play around with it, right? So there are many use cases, but the idea is very simple of using prompts and a non-linear way to structure your entire skill. Now the price for Ethereum is Ethereum underscore price. You can also create it from here and then update the API call itself. I'm going to update the API call along with the URL. We have to change the URL because as per the API documentation, you need to have the name of the cryptocurrency in the URL itself. And now change this to Ethereum underscore price. Now this is not going to change because the response is going to stay the same. So we have now created a skill where we are asking the user for a random cryptocurrency, and depending on the user's response, we are going to fetch the price of that currency, right? Let's quickly test this and see if this works. I hope it works. Click on the run button on the top right corner of the Voiceflow interface. You can then click run test and it will ask you for choose a cryptocurrency. Now I'm going to say Bitcoin, right? Okay, it did not work. Let's see why it did not work. Path not connected. So I'm guessing the API failed because I'm not really trusting the API entirely. I would recommend if there is a OAuth based API for you to use, but let's try again, right? Let's see what happens. Let's reset the test, run test. Now I'm going to say Bitcoin. Okay, what did I do wrong here? Let's see. Now let's go back to the interface. Let's see if I connected the right path, right? If it is success, sending it here and setting the Bitcoin variable, right? Source property must be a valid JSON. As I said, the API I would recommend if you use a good API which has probably OAuth authentication available. Let's try one last time with Ethereum and see if it works. But as you can see, it definitely comes into this block, but the API is where it is failing. So the prompts definitely work. Now let's try Ethereum and see if it goes to Ethereum. It definitely goes to Ethereum block, as you can see. Right. So here it worked, right? So the fault here is with the API itself, but not the Voiceflow tool, right? So that's how you can create prompts and a non-linear structure when you're creating applications, and create prompts for any input that the user has and not specific ones like yes or no, because that's pretty mundane, right? This will give you superpowers essentially for your voice-based application. If you like the tutorial, make sure you drop a like below and consider subscribing, because this channel is all about building stuff without coding. See you in the next one. Peace.